The NFL's decision to ban the hip drop tackle is destined to have major ramifications in fantasy football land in 2024 and beyond. Now, whether or not you agree with the decision, we are now making life that much harder for NFL defenders to legally tackle these finely tuned athletic machines, so it would make sense if some of the league's best talents with the football in their hands are that much more effective. This brings us to today's question: who are the biggest fantasy football winners from the NFL's decision to ban the hip drop tackle? Up first, 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel. He has truly made life pretty much a living hell for all would-be tacklers since entering the league in 2019, and the wide receiver running back hybrid accordingly should be one of the biggest winners from this new ruling. Now, while Deebo has a lot of screens and quick hitting sort of plays that are yak friendly, it's actually what he's able to do above expected that makes his game so special. Consider the next gen stat that is yards after the catch above expectation, and look at what my man has pulled off over these last 4 years. First, a lowly third, and then first again in 2023. Yes, Deebo with the football in his hands is among the single scariest players in the entire NFL. And hey, it's not even restricted to just life as a receiver. We've actually seen Deebo lead the entire NFL in yards per carry since entering the league among all players with at least 150 rush attempts. Hell, if we take that same qualifier, which I know isn't the largest sample size ever, but go with me for a second, we actually see Deebo ranked 5th all time in yards per carry alongside some true legends of the game. Deebo, already pretty much the hardest wide receiver in the league to get to the ground. Good luck trying to do so legally in 2024 and beyond. Up next, we have our running back from the group, now a member of the Ravens, the big dog himself. That's right, we're talking about some Derrick Henry. Now, I don't blame you guys if you haven't exactly been poring over Titans games in recent years. Hasn't been overly pretty. That said, we can really look at what Henry has accomplished, and I believe do a good job determining that it's really been far more his offensive environment that slowed down his raw yards per carry, as opposed to Henry actually falling off an age cliff. Looking at Henry's yards after contact numbers, he has maintained top 10 standing in each of the past 4 years. It's actually been the Titans' offensive line that has gone from one of the league's best units at creating yards before contact to one of the worst. Now, where have the Ravens ranked in this statistic over the past half decade? Drum roll, please. Yeah, the best in the game. So a lot of that does have to do with Lamar Jackson's gravity-inducing impact in the read option game. But yeah, that's once again going to help Henry, who again in 2023 looked far from washed on his way to stiff-arming plenty of fools in the open field and still showing that get-out-of-jail-free speed. I mean, goodness, guys, only Chase Brown and Devin Achane actually clocked a faster time with the football in their hands than Derrick Henry last season. Maybe it's not quite as scary to have this rule in place if we had seen Henry in 2018 relative to 2024. I'm not saying the man is still fully in his prime, but at a minimum, 250 plus pounds, he can still run away from anyone. Good luck trying to tackle Derrick Henry legally in the year 2024. We're going with the quarterback for our next highlight, and that one happens to be Bills franchise QB Josh Allen. Turns out that giving a 6'5" guy that weighs 245 pounds and has wheels an extra advantage maybe, just maybe, won't be the most ideal thing for defenders to be dealing with. So, first off, Josh Allen, incredible running the football. I mean, the hurdles, maybe a fake slide. Was it? I don't really think so. Some people do. Just saying. Regardless, he has been one of the most productive rushers of the football ever since entering the league back in 2018. Overall, only Derrick Henry has more rushing touchdowns than Josh Allen over these past 6 seasons. And when we actually look at who has the highest rate of rush attempts to result in a first down or touchdown, nobody takes down number 17 from Buffalo. And additionally, guys, this has helped him really avoid sacks when pressured better than any quarterback in the league. So maybe consider that the next time you want to go yell and scream about the dude's turnovers. Now, I've paid a lot of compliments to Josh Allen there. I think Bills Mafia can agree with me. And yes, this rule, just from that, will help. Also, let's face it, Josh Allen likes a flop. He likes to flop here and there, guys. Whether it's trying to get the roughing the passer penalty, or again, maybe using some extra hijinks in the open field after it looks like he's already going down. We have one of, again, the most effective rushers of the football, and someone who has been willing to at least try to get the referees on his side. Now blessed with a brand new rule that's going to make life tougher than ever on both the defenders trying to tackle him and on the officials trying to do their jobs. Yeah, good luck, everyone. And finally, let's close things out with a look at the tight end position, specifically new Dolphins starter Jonnu Smith. This one was tough. We could easily go with George Kittle, even my guy Gerald Everett now trying to do his thing in Chicago, but wanted to try to give some praise to Jonnu because as much as we like to yell and scream about Arthur Smith playing him ahead of Kyle Pitts for portions of last season, Jonnu really did make the most out of his opportunities, and most statistics will actually tell you that he was better than Kyle Pitts last year, so I'm sorry about your fantasy teams, but guess what? Now he's in Miami, and we have one of the best yak creators in Mike McDaniel, getting blessed with a guy who recorded the single 2 fastest times of any tight end last season in terms of next-gen stats ball carrier speed. So with Jonnu, again, if we even go back just a few years, guys, before the New England experiment failed, he was one of the tight ends that we love to gobble up late in fantasy because of this ridiculous ability with the football in his hands. Overall, per ESPN Advanced Analytics, only George Kittle has a higher receiver rating when it comes to strictly yak since 2017, which is as long as their advanced stats go back to being. So yes, Jonnu Smith may piss you off in 2023, but new contract, new year, new Jonnu. Good luck trying to get this dude on the ground. One of my favorite late round darts at the position right now in early best ball drafts. So yeah, guys, those are my big 4 fantasy players that should be benefiting from the NFL's decision to make these hip drop tackles illegal. But in general, I think this combined with the new kickoff rule is generally just going to lead to more points, which is not necessarily a bad thing out there. Generally, as someone who was never all that good at football, I mean, you know, D3 white linebacker here. I never quite had dreams of going pro. I do think the rule is a little bit unfair. I mean, we look at these guys again trying to tackle incredible athletes who are fighting for every single inch on the football field and now trying to make a very difficult ruling about where their weight's actually winding up when they're not exactly in the best position to be making the tackle in the first place. I've still yet to hear a really good reason about what we're going to do when a guy's getting stiff-armed, bringing a player to the ground, and yeah, what if your weight does accidentally land on the guy's legs? I don't think it's nearly as cut and dry as someone tried to make it out to be. So yeah, I'm sure the NFL is just going to officiate this perfect and we're going to have no controversy and no issues at all. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Holler in the comments about anyone else you think I might have missed or anyone you think is really going to benefit. But otherwise, yeah, have a great rest of your day.